and welcome to the Entertainment Vortex. Today we were at Brennan Theaters watching Frozen 2. Now, of course, this movie was extremely anticipated with how huge the original Frozen movie was. Like, it was really well done. It was different than what we were used to, well animated, art style was amazing, the singing was good, the songs were great, the characters were fantastic. It was just a good movie. This new one, I was a little concerned because you watch the trailers, they seem to be, cryptic is the right word to put it. You don't really know what the movie's about. You get little pieces of it in the trailers, but the trailers are kind of all over the place. So I'm like going into it, I don't really know what to think, but I will go with an open mind, enjoy the music, and hopefully have some fun. So watching the movie, there are positives and negatives. By no means as good as the first one, but no one, I don't think, really expected it to be. The positives are what you'd expect. Amazing animation. I would actually go and say this is probably in the top animated films look-wise and effects-wise and animation-wise that I've ever seen. Like, these shots are just breathtaking. There are a couple where you're like, did they just put her on a real landscape? Like, it looks really, really good. The art direction and the world building, they kind of take you to some new places and you see some new outfits and stuff like that. I thought that was all fantastic as well. Everything looked great. Now, when it comes to the negative, I feel the story was weak. And when I say weak, there are a couple pieces of it that stick out. The first one is it felt very convoluted. Everything was more complicated than it needed to be. I really don't see any kid following this story. There are points in the movie where I'm like, wait, what? What is that? Like, why are we doing, who is that? Like, what are we doing? It's just kind of ridiculous, the story. As a kid's movie, it makes it even more ridiculous because you can't really be convoluted and hope that some 5 to 10 year old's gonna follow it. And this is all over the place. There are points where I didn't even catch in the movie that I had to ask JB, my co-host, why did this even happen? And he's like, well, it was explained in the song. There was a line in the song right when it happened in the background. I'm like, that's how you explain what's going on? I mean, the kid's gonna need a lot more. Apparently, I need a little bit more. These are moments where the story just kind of doesn't come together correctly, in my opinion. And because of that, it really took some of the enjoyment out of the movie for me. There are moments where characters did things I didn't feel was really in character. Like, they would do or say something, and it's like, what are they doing? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why didn't they just do this? Or why did those people just cave to that immediately and not say anything? And just a lot of the character decisions didn't work for me at all. And those moments always break immersion for me and really frustrate me. With that being said, there are aspects of the story I enjoy. There are some extremely funny moments. I mean, extremely laugh-out-loud funny moments. When you hit those moments, they are perfectly crafted. Basically, you're hit or miss. The things it did well, it did really well. Beautiful animation, character design, costume design, art design, it did really, really well. And then the things it did poorly, it did very poorly. Convoluted story, not explaining things, and then the next thing I'm going to talk about. It's really divisive. So I by no means feel this is a bad movie, but all these things come together to make it kind of conflicted for me. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is probably the thing that bothered me the most about the movie, and that is the music. This is obviously a Disney musical. I love Disney musicals. I love musicals as a whole. This is just like my favorite genre of movie is musical. So when I go into these, I'm really excited about the new music, especially since the last movie had some of the most popular music that we've had in a musical in a long time. I mean, Let It Go is just kind of a phenomenon at this point. So going into this movie, I was looking forward to that. They kind of flipped the script on the music. And what I mean by that is instead of having these catchy tunes where they use it to express the emotion and really drive home the emotion going on, they do it more Broadway style. They do a song that's moving the story along, like you're finding out and learning things in the song. Now, I really don't have a problem with that style. It's a little different for Disney. That's not normally how they do it, but I normally enjoy that style. The issue is when they did it, none of the songs really, I don't want to say they didn't work, because I guess they worked, but they weren't really that catchy. A couple of them I thought almost felt disjointed, and that was very odd for me. Normally in Disney movies and musicals as a whole, you kind of have this overarching musical theme that goes through it. And a lot of the songs, while they're different songs, they feel like they click together. In this movie, I didn't feel a lot of the songs click together. Some of the songs they start singing and you're like, this just doesn't feel like. You don't have that warm, fuzzy feeling inside when you hear someone singing in a movie. Well, I hear someone singing in a movie that makes me excited and it gets me more emotionally involved. I just kind of felt odd about it. Like, I don't know if they needed a song here, like, which is, can't believe I just said that. I don't know if I've ever said that about a musical, about not needing a song there, but the song didn't add anything, so it kind of took things away. Now, that's not all the songs. There were a couple songs that were funny. There were a couple songs that were good, and there was one song that was dreadfully depressing. And those were well done. They did what they were supposed to do. They brought the audience and they brought them to a place where they wanted them to be, and they instilled this emotion in them. There were some weak parts in the music, and since that's the main reason I went to see this movie was the musical quality, that's definitely what disappointed me the most. So with that being said, overall, I don't want to talk you out of going to see this movie. If Frozen 2 is something you want to see, go see it. None of this is going to ruin the movie for you. These aren't those, oh my gosh, this whole movie was ruined, my night was ruined kind of thing. It's still worth the ticket of admission. The fun moments are all over the place. The story is just extremely convoluted, and the music didn't really hit me the way I was hoping it would. So I'm going to give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. It's still a solid movie. It's still a good movie, I would even say. I just wanted more. I would prepare you, if you're someone that's going to bring your kids to this movie, you're going to get a lot of questions, because this story is all over the place. I'm not even sure I completely understand some of the choices they made, and I'm a full-grown adult. So I would assume that some of the kids are going to have trouble. I know the young lady that was sitting in front of us looked about 8 to 10 years old, and she was asking her mom questions every couple seconds because it was all over the place. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We give you multiple videos every single week. And we have t-shirts available if you're interested in those as well. Those are available down in the description below. We hope you'll follow us into the Vortex. We'll see you next time.